Okay, so we're going to continue with question 13. All right, so from the information that we have in question 13, we have that P of 1 is equal to negative 12, which is an application of the remainder theorem. But also we have that x plus 2 is a factor, so that means that P of negative 2 is equal to 0, and that is coming from the factor theorem. Okay? All right. Okay, so this will give us one equation, and this will give us another equation. So we're going to do the substitution and see what happens. Okay, so we're going to say that a times 1 squared plus b times 1 minus 14 is equal to negative 12. So we're going to say a plus b minus 14 is equal to negative 12. So that is for 1. And then we're going to do negative 2 squared, so it's going to be 4. So we're going to say 4a and then minus 2b minus 14 is equal to 0. That will give us the second equation. And then we're going to simplify. So we're going to say that this becomes a plus b is equal to, well, it's going to be 14 minus 12, which is 2. That is my equation 1 now. And for this, we can divide by 2 in our head and then move the negative 14 on the other side. So that will give us 2a minus b is equal to 7. Okay. All right, and that will give us, the two equations that we need. Okay. And then we're going to plus these two equations. So we're going to say equation 1 plus equation 2. And that will give us 3a is equal to 2 plus 7, which is 9. So therefore, a is equal to positive 3. All right, and then now that we have the answer for a, we can substitute it in here. So we're going to say 3 plus b is equal to 2. So therefore b is going to be equal to 2 minus 3, which is equal to negative 1. Okay, and that is what we have to do only for question 13. Okay, so find the value of a and b. So it's all done. All right, so now we are going to move to the next question. So I'm not going to stop the video. I'm just going to go there and come back, and then we'll continue with the rest of the question. Okay, so now we're going to do question 14, 15, and 16. Okay, for question 14 and 15, we're going to need some ink. So I need to check my pen and make sure they have enough. Okay, and now we're going to do this. Okay, question 14. In this question, we have a very long polynomial. Okay, so it's a polynomial of degree 4, so it's a quartic. And nothing is missing. Okay, so we have the x to the power of 4 term, we have the x cubed term, we have the x squared term, we have the x term, and we have the constant. All right, so I'm going to write in here. So our polynomial is a long one, and it's equal to a squared x to the power of 4 plus 3x cubed plus b squared x squared, and then plus 4abx plus 4ab. Wow, it's a long one. Okay, let's see what information we have. Okay, Okay, in there they say when we divide this polynomial by x plus 1, the remainder is equal to 10. And then when we divide by x, which is the same as saying when we divide by x plus 0, then the answer is 24. Okay, so in here we're going to apply the remainder theorem twice. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to say solution. Well, we have this. So we have that p of -1 is equal to 10. So that will give us, the first equation, because considering here we have a and b, two unknown coefficient. Okay, so that means that we're going to have to find them. And we already know that when we have cases like this is when we have to set up a simultaneous equation and then find the answer. All right. Okay, so p -1 is equal to 10, and the other piece of information that we have is that p of 0, because they say that the remainder is 24 when you divide by x, which is the same as saying when you divide by x minus 0. So I mean that p0 is equal to 24. Okay, that will give us the second equation. Okay, so this is when you divide by x plus 1, and this is when you divide by x minus 0 or plus 0. In this case, it doesn't matter. Okay, all right, now we're gonna substitute this information in here and this in there, all right? Okay, so now we're gonna be careful. Okay, for when x equals -1, okay, so we're gonna have, let's see, we're gonna have a square, so we're gonna have a square times -1 to the power 4, which is positive 1, so it's going to be only a square. And then when we substitute -1 in here, well, -1 cubed is -1 times 3 is -3, so it's going to be -3. And then we have x squared, so it's going to be positive 1 multiplied by b squared, so plus b squared. And then in here we're going to have -1, so it's going to be minus 4ab, and then plus 4ab, and that is equal to 10. Okay, so that is my equation 1. Okay, so that is my equation 1. Okay, equation 2 is going to be easier because x equals 0, so I mean that all this is equal to 0, and then we're going to have only 4ab equal to 24. Okay, so I say 4ab is equal to 24. That is my equation 2. All right. And then from this equation, we can see that these two will go. Okay, and then we're going to rearrange, and also we're going to simplify this. So we're going to say, or we can say that a square plus b square is going to be equal to 13. So that is my equation 1. And then from here we can simplify also. We can say that AB is equal to 24 divided by 4, which is 6. And that will give us the second equation. Okay, but this time we're going to solve them simultaneously again. But you can see that in here we're going to have one quadratic, and in here we have another, AB, which is also if you graph this, it's going to be a hyperbola, and in here you're going to have a different picture. Okay, so I mean that it's not linear. Okay, so we don't have two linear equations, so we have quadratic equations. All right, okay, and then in 2 unit we learned that when we have things like this, we can solve them by substitution. Okay, so we're going to say this. We're going to say from 2 from 2, so we're going to make A the subject. So from 2, we have that A is equal to 6 over B. And then we're going to substitute that in the second equation. So and then we're going to say sub into 1. We have that 6 over B square plus B square is equal to 13. Okay, and this will give you 6 over B square, and then plus, actually this is 36. This is 36 over B square plus B square is equal to 13. And then what we need to do is to multiply by B square. So we're going to have 36 plus B to the power of 4 is equal to 13B square. Okay, and then I'm going to move this to the other side. So we're going to have B to the 4 minus 13B square plus 36 is equal to 0. Okay, and then in here we had, one of these typical equation in which we can treat this like in a square or quadratic equation. So what we can do is to say, okay, let's say let m equal to b square. So we're going to say let m be b square, and we're going to substitute in here. So then we have, when you do the substitution in here, then we're going to have m square minus 13b plus m, I should say, m, and then plus 36 is equal to 0. All right. Okay, and you can see this is a long question. And then we're going to solve this equation. Okay, so we're going to say this can be factored, and so two numbers that when you times them together equal 36, and add them together is negative 13. It's harmonic, so it's good. And the numbers are negative 4 and negative 9. Okay, so we're going to say or n minus 9 and m minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so therefore we're going to have two answers. So we're going to have m is equal to 4 or m equal to 9. Okay, and then when you have these two numbers, we substitute them in here one at a time to find the answer for the original equation that was given in terms of b. So therefore we're going to say, therefore when m is equal to 4, we have b square equal to 4. So when m equals 4, I'm going to call this equation 3. Okay, why not? Okay, and then here we're going to say from 3, so we don't get lost. Okay, and then, so therefore we're going to have that b is equal to plus or minus 2. All right. And then when m is equal to 9, from the same equation, we're going to have that b is equal to plus or minus 3. Okay, and then we're going to come back to here. Okay, because we say that a is equal to 6 over b, and then we're going to say so, comma, when b is equal to plus or minus 2, then therefore we have that a is equal to 6 divided by 2, which is 3, and divided by -2 is -3. So we're going to have plus or minus 3. Okay, so if you substitute plus or minus 2 in here, then we're going to have 6 divided by plus or minus 2. That will give you plus or minus 3. Okay. All right. And then the other option was when b is equal to plus or minus 2. So now we're going to say also when b is equal to plus or minus let me see. Okay, so that was when m equal 4, we have b is equal to plus or minus 2. When n equal 9, we have that b is equal to plus or minus 3. Okay, now we are finding the answer for A. Alright, so when b is equal to plus or minus 2, the answer was that. And then when b is equal to plus or minus 3, then A is going to be equal to, so if you divide plus or minus 3, this is going to be plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2. All right. We call this solution. All right. So I mean that the solution set is. All right. Solution set is therefore the solution set is given by, okay, now we're going to match, so it's going to be when b is equal to plus or minus 2, so b is equal to plus or minus 2, comma, A is going to be equal to plus or minus 3. And then when b is equal to plus or minus 3, comma, A is going to be equal to plus or minus 2. Plus or minus 2. Okay, and from here we have all possible solutions for this polynomial, okay, A and B. All right, so you can see this question is long, and it requires, I don't know, it requires a little bit of a manipulation of equation, okay, and if you're going to get the right answer, you have to be neat. Otherwise, you're going to get lost very, very quickly. Okay, so you're going to get lost very, very quickly if you are writing things all over the place. So make sure that you write things in logical order, in sequence, and then you're going to get the right answer. Okay, but if you are that type of person that, you know, start writing things all over the place, then you may have some problem. All right, so my advice is be neat and you will never have a problem. Okay, the next question. So we have to question 15 now. Very similar to this one. Okay, so let's see how much longer or shorter is this one. Hopefully it's shorter than the other one. Okay. I think that this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be shorter. So question 15. Okay, question 15 say, find the value of A and B. You see, same sort of question. So find the value of A and B. So that's it, simultaneous equation. So that the polynomial p of x equal to 10a squared x to the 4 minus 30ax cubed and so on has ax minus 1 as a factor and leaves a remainder of 20 on division by x or x minus 0. Okay, so I'm going to write the polynomial. My beautiful polynomial is equal to 10 a squared x to the 4 and then minus 30 ax cubed and then minus 8 abx plus 4ab, and they say that x, so we're going to write here ax minus 1 is a factor of p of x, and so therefore we already know that p of, remember you made that equal 0 in your head, you made that equal 0 and made x the subject, so x is going to be equal to 1 on a, so 1 on a. Okay, so in here we put negative 1 on a is equal to 0 because this is a factor, and we know that when things like this is a factor, then we can say that is equal to 0. Okay, and then also they say that it leaves a remainder of 20 when you divide by x minus 0. Also p of 0 is equal to 20. Okay, so that is two things that we need to know, and two things that are given. Okay, and these two things will let us to set, those simultaneous equations that we have been talking about, and then yeah, we're going from there. Right. Okay, so the first one, so p of negative 1 on a equal to 0, so that is going to be my equation 1, and p of 0 is equal to 20, that is going to be my second equation. Okay, now I'm going to do the substitution. Okay, so I'm going to substitute negative 1a in here and make that equal to 0. So here we go. Let's do this substitution. So we're going to have 10a squared multiplied by minus 1 on a to the power of 4, and then minus 30a multiplied by negative 1 on a to the power of 3, and then minus 8ab negative 1 on a, and then plus 4ab, all that is equal to 0. Okay, so that is how my equation 1 is looking like. Alright, before we set up this second equation, I'm going to simplify this. Alright, so we're going to say that, well, if you simplify this, so this is 1 over a to the power 4, and then you cancel 2a from here and 2 from the bottom. So this is going to be 10 over a squared. And the next one, well, this is negative 1 on a cube. And because this is negative, so we're going to put plus in there. And then we're going to do the simplification. So it's going to be, in here we got a cube. So we're going to have 2 at the bottom. All right. And if you don't mind, I really want to put this as a one things because we have the same denominator. So with your permission, I'm going to say that this is equal to 40 over a squared. Okay, so this is 40 over a squared. And then we're going to move to the other one. So in here we're going to have, well, this a cancel out that one, and negative is going to be positive. So we're going to have plus 8ab, and then plus 4ab, that is equal to 0. And again, I'm gonna simplify this now. So this is 8ab plus 4ab, so we're gonna have 12. So with your permission, I want you to look at this, and then I'm gonna do 12. So it's 12 AB, and that is equal to 0. Okay, so that is my equation 1, simplified form. Okay. Okay, my equation 2. So I need to have 2 equations. Equation 2 is going to be easier, okay, because in here they say that p at 0 is equal to 20. So when you substitute 0 in here, then this will go, this will go, this will go. So we're going to have only 4ab is equal to, what is that? It's equal to 20. Okay, and then from there we have that AB is equal to 20 divided by 4, which is 8. No, what am I saying? 5. Okay, so we know that AB is equal to 5. Okay, and that is my equation 2. Okay, now it looks like we going to substitute this AB equal 5 in here, AB, all right? Okay, now we're gonna say sub into 1 to get 40 over a square plus 12 times 5, and that is equal to 0. Okay, and again, with your permission, I'm gonna change this to 12 times 5 to 60. Okay, so 60, and that is equal to 0. And then if you want to make this even simpler, we can simplify by 10 first. So we're going to have 4 over a square plus 6. And then we can also divide by 2. So that means that we're going to have 2 over a square plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay, so we divide this by 20. Okay, so I'm going to put divide by 20. And that's how you get that. Okay. And then let me see what is going to happen. All right, I think that we have a positive in here, and which you have a negative there. Okay, let me see where is that negative coming from. All right, let's see. So we've done the substitution for this. So this is going to be positive. Yeah, this is going to be negative, but because of this is positive, so we go, yeah, and then this is going to be positive because this is negative and this is negative, so we're going to have a positive. All right, let me 1x. All right, okay, I can see what I did wrong. Okay, so if you make that equal 0, and if you may, okay, if you can see better now, if you make that equal 0 and make x the subject, then what's going to happen is that x is going to be equal to 1 on a. Okay, so in here we should have 1 on a, and we should substitute 1 on a instead. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that changed the first part. So I'm going to redo this equation in here because that will make this 10 over a square, but in here we're going to have minus, so it's going to be minus 30 on a square, and this is going to be minus, okay, so it's going to be minus 8b, and this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be 8b, so 8, so yeah, because these two cancel, and then we're going to have plus 4ab. Okay, so I mean that will change this a little bit. So this is my equation 1 now, and I'm going to put this together, so I'm going to have 10 minus 30, so it's minus 20. Okay, so minus 20 a square minus 8b, and then plus 4ab. Okay, and that is equal to 0. Okay, so that is my equation 1. All right. Okay, so yeah, all what I did is change the negative 1 over a by 1 over a, which is the correct thing to do. Okay, and then equation 2 say that it's easy because we are substituting 0, so this will go, this will go, this will go, so we're going to have only 4ab is equal to 4ab is equal to 20, which is my equation 2. Or we can say that ab is equal to 5. That's what we had before, so that was correct. Okay, and then what we're going to have to do, we're going to make b the subject and substitute it in here. So then we have an equation in a and a only. Okay, so we're going to say from 2 we have b is equal to 5 over a, and then we're going to sub that into 1, okay, which is this. So then we're going to have minus 20 over a square, okay, minus 20 over a square, minus 8 multiplied by b, which is equal to 5 over a, and then plus 4 times a, and then times b. That is equal to 0. Okay, now we're going to have to solve this equation, but we need to simplify. So far we have negative 20a square minus 40 divided by a, and then plus, well, this a cancelled out, and then we're going to have 4 times 5 is 20 equals 0. And then we can divide everything by 20, so that will give you minus 1 a square, and then minus 2 over a, and then plus 1 equals 0. And then we're going to multiply by a square, so multiply by a square, that will give you minus 1 minus 2a plus a square equals 0. And then we're going to put this as a square minus 2a minus 1 equal 0. Okay, so that was actually not easier than the previous question. Okay, and then we're going to have to solve this, and keep in mind this one. Okay, so because from here we're going to find the answer for a, but then we're going to substitute that a in here, okay, to see what the full answer is. Okay, so from here we cannot, fortunately we cannot find two numbers that when you times them together equal negative 1 and add them together equal negative 2. So we need the formula. All right, so we're going to say now A is going to be equal to, it's going to be equal to positive 2 plus or minus square root of 4 minus 4 times A times negative 1 divided by 2. Okay, that will give you 2 plus or minus, so this is going to be 4 plus 4, so it's going to be 8, and that is equal to 2 root 2 on 2. And that will give you 2 plus or minus, actually 1 plus or minus is square root of 2. Okay? So I mean that we have two answers for A. So therefore B is going to be equal to 5 over 1 plus or minus square root of 2. Okay, and then in pairs, so you're going to have 1 plus root 2, and B is going to be 5 over 1 plus root 2, and the other option is to have A as 1 minus root 2 and B equal to 5 over 1 minus root 2. Okay, and then you put them in pairs, and that will give you the solution for that polynomial. All right, so I mean that we already know the answer for A and B, and that is what they want. Okay, so these are very long question. Okay, but it's good if you want to practice your algebraic skill. Okay, because it requires a lot of manipulation of things, and you need to remember how to solve equation, how to do substitution, and so you have to put a lot of things together. All right, so let's do the next question.